Next, a meeting of two teams who've yet to record a championship win this season. Both Leicester and Reading have hopes for promotion. They met at the Walker Stadium. The match watched by John Roeder.
Taken down by Sigurdsson. It might fall here for long. Teixeira battling for it. No whistle. Here's Kebe. Oh, it's a lovely chance for Reading, and it's the opening goal from Gylfi Sigurdsson. Gylfi Sigurdsson, who scored the winner here for Reading last March in stoppage time with a penalty, scores from open play. Leicester wanted a free kick there. If anything, the free kick should have gone the other way. And what a deft finish that is from Sigurdsson. Dyer to have a go. What a goal! What a brilliant goal that is from Lloyd Dyer. He's not scored in his last 16 appearances for Leicester. It's his first goal since mid-February, and what a good run in field from Dyer. He was always looking for the opportunity to unleash the shot, and when he did so, it flew past Federici. Howard with a little touch, King forward. Musa involved straight away, little touch from King. Excellent save from Federici to deny Dyer a second goal. Away by Hobbs, corner kick. Brian Howard with the corner. It's 2-1. Matthew Mills. Howard with the corner, and Mills rises high to power the header home. Can Leicester come back again? Howard with a little touch off. Might fall here for Dyer. Howard! Off the line and away. Mills, scorer at one end. Saved Reading at the other. Wellens. On by Howard. Two waiting to go for it. Andy King! Whistle had gone. It won't count. A foul in the penalty area. Oh, was there a foul there? Referee thought so. Whistle had gone about there. So Andy King's final shot doesn't count.
We need to keep at that commitment and that attitude, that belief. But now we need to be more clinic and score the goals we create, the chances we create, and of course don't concede mistakes.
There was a bit of anxiousness in the dressing room before. Everybody knows, without talking about it, you want that first win. And I think we should have more points on the table that we've got, but we'll take that today. I thought there was great spirit in our team today.
Watford and Leeds met in the league for the first time since the Hornets beat Leeds in the 2006 playoff final, and revenge has taken some time to arrive. Simon Grayson signed Cardiff's Ross McCormack this week, but he didn't feature as the Yorkshiremen picked up their first away win. Luciano Becchio's header parried into the path of Richard Naylor, who marked his 450th appearance with the only goal of the game. Grayson's men haven't kept a clean sheet on the road all year, but the combination of good goalkeeping from Kasper Schmeichel and some wayward Watford finishing kept Leeds in front. The Hornets were having one of those days in front of goal, and having been knocked out of the Carling Cup by Notts County in the week, they were unable to protect their unbeaten league record either, with Leeds already looking extremely comfortable with life back in the Championship.
Well, it was a tough encounter. You come into Watford, who have a way of playing, and you have to deal with it. We had to defend the box well, we had to clear our lines, and when we got opportunities to play, we didn't play really as well as we can do, because we like to think we can get the ball down and play. But to get a clean sheet away from home and get your first victory is very positive and very encouraging.
Leeds came, set the stall out, scored the early goal, and were very resilient. But I think on the basis of the amount of chances we had, we should at least have got a point out of that today.
Gordon Strachan's Middlesbrough are struggling to justify their tag of pre-season promotion favourites. Scoring is a problem. Scott McDonald may have netted in the midweek defeat at Millwall. He couldn't repeat the feat here, even with Luke Steele in no man's land. Barnsley managed 1 win in 9 at the start of the previous 2 league campaigns. Victory here would better that, and they were sent on their way by Jason Shackle just before the half hour. That's how it stayed until deep into stoppage time. When Tides midfielder Adam Hamill picked up the ball in his own half, there didn't seem to be too much danger, but the ex-Liverpool trainee kept running at the Borough backline, kept his balance and kept his composure to finish. 2 home wins out of 2 for Barnsley.
You know, credit to my players because they stood firm. We've kept another clean sheet at home and been one of the promotion favourites, so I'm absolutely delighted, yeah.
Hull boss Nigel Pearson was admitted to hospital after feeling unwell at training on Friday. So it was assistant manager Craig Shakespeare who took charge for the short trip to Yorkshire rivals Doncaster. And they were behind within 2 minutes when Martin Wood's looping header gave Shakespeare the chance to muse over a comedy of errors. Nick Barmby's played more games for Hull than for anybody else in his career. How fitting that his 100th goal should come for his hometown club. He'd been stuck on 99 for 34 games and nearly 18 months. But Hull haven't won on the road since March 2009, and that equaliser proved to be a false dawn. Liam Cooper's handball gave Donny a penalty, converted by their record signing Billy Sharp. And having been knocked out of the Carling Cup by Brentford, Hull's miserable week was rounded off by James Coppinger. 3 wins in 30 is a shocking record, but for now, the health of their manager is of greater importance.
Obviously, when he's concerned about illness and that, they took no risks, and rightly so, and we're hoping he's out tonight and ready for training on Monday.
After gracing such footballing cathedrals as the San Siro, the Nou Camp and the Stadio della Alpi, Edgar Davids got his first taste of Championship football for Crystal Palace at Glanford Park. And the former Dutch international would soon find out how tough life is in England's second tier. Michael O'Connor's free kick serving as an early warning. How would Scunthorpe cope without last season's top scorer Gary Hooper? Perhaps Jonathan Fort is the answer, showing enough strength and agility to turn past Claude Davis and the positional sense to fire home. Fort wasn't done yet, though. Watch this for an impeccable piece of control. Bergkamp-esque, you might say. So was the finish. Scunny 2-0 up at the break. Nigel Atkins' side lost their opening home game to a late Norwich winner, but their supporters could relax in this one. When Fort was brought down for a second-half penalty, this result was never in doubt. Surely he should take the spot kick for a chance to seal his hat-trick? No. O'Connor did the honours. It's a 3rd league defeat on the bounce for Palace.
Defeat in Sheffield United's last home game led to Blades boss Kevin Blackwell's dismissal. 2 weeks on and Gary Speed took charge of the club for the first time at Bramall Lane. United had lost the first game of Speed's tenure, and they could easily have lost to Preston too, for whom former Blade Keith Tracy came close. Matthew James also denied, as Speed's men rode their luck. Preston went into the game having scored only once in the league, and although Josh King and Billy Jones both failed to improve that record, there are promising signs it won't take long. But this was United's day, courtesy of debutant Jean Calvé, who signed on loan from Nancy this week. Some way to score your first ever league goal in 115 games.
Delighted to get the 3 points, really. Very pleased with the players and my staff who have been a great help the last couple of weeks, and we're more pleased for them really to get that win under our belt and a clean sheet to boot, which is great.
So the 3 unbeaten Championship teams are top of the table. QPR, Cardiff and Ipswich all have 10 points from 4 games. Portsmouth continue to struggle. Another defeat leaves them stuck at the bottom of the table. Leicester also have just 1 point. In League One, Brett Pittman may have left Bournemouth, but they may already have a ready-made replacement. Josh McCoy scored against Tranmere last week and took less than 3 minutes to do the same against Notts County. The 20-year-old who came through the ranks has largely been used as a winger in the past, but has rapidly adapted to the role up front. His second of the match was neatly taken. Notts County already in serious trouble, and it seemed sure to be a fruitless journey when they slipped even further behind. Stuart Nelson thwarted Mark Pugh, but there was no stopping Anton Robinson. Despite that 3-goal lead, Eddie Howe felt his side wasn't matching its normal standards, and when Ben Burgess swept in his first goal for County, the Bournemouth boss said some doubts crept in. Craig Shorter demanded his players win the second half. The battle cry didn't reap rewards until the final minute. Jake Jervis struck the post, and Craig Westcar picked up the pieces to have Notts County all pumped up for a final push. In stoppage time, with Bournemouth flustered, they completed an astounding comeback. Kevin Smith made it a much happier journey home to the East Midlands for those travelling county fans. Elsewhere, Sheffield Wednesday won 5-0 at Hartlepool, a win that lifts the Owls to the top of League One. Peterborough won 3-0 at Plymouth. And in a week of big away wins in League One, Southampton thrashed Bristol Rovers 4-0. Former Pirate Ricky Lambert was among the scorers. These are desperate times for Stockport in League Two. Last season's relegation has hit hard, and no sign yet of a recovery. No such worries for Shrewsbury. Jake Robinson fired them ahead 4 minutes before the break. Next up was Robinson's strike partner Matt Harrold. A howler from Danny Swales gifted him a goal just before the hour. The Shrews' unbeaten start in no danger of being halted. In fact, it got even better for Graham Turner's men just 5 minutes later. Steve Leslie picked out Robinson, who laid the ball on a plate for Mark Wright, his first since joining on loan from Bristol Rovers. And there was more punishment to follow. 8 minutes from the end, Wright raced clear to leave Stockport still searching for a first win in 18 attempts. Tougher tests lie ahead for the Shrews. Next week, fellow high flyers Rotherham are in town. That win lifts Shrewsbury up 3 places to second. Torquay stayed top of League Two thanks to a 2-1 win at Port Vale. Rotherham won at Hereford. 3 of the bottom 4 drew their games. Morecambe, Macclesfield and Barnet all gaining their second points of the season. Our goal of the week comes from Sheffield United's debutant defender, Jean Calvet. What a way to introduce yourself to your new teammates. We'll be taking next week off for the international break. Join us the week after for the best of the action and the goals on the Football League Show.